Hi, I'm down on the floor in my studio today because I want to show you my 3 favorite ways to store fabric. I've got a lot of fabric. I love fabric. I love the way it feels, the way it drapes, the way I can make quilts, tote bags, clothes, anything I want. So, my first favorite way to store fabric is in cubbies. These are just inexpensive cubbies from IKEA. You can buy cubbies just about anywhere, Target, Walmart. And I love to stack my fabric by color. It's so inspiring to me that when I need blue, I can come look through my blue stack, or orange, or turquoise, or green. When I keep it out like this, it makes me want to sew. It makes me want to move on to my next project and make something new. So I really love that. Now, when I first started using cubbies, I wrapped my fabric around plastic boards, like little bolts, and I could stack them vertically. And that was okay, but I found that when I took a piece off to look at it, if it was the wrong size, I didn't have enough, or it was just not what I wanted, then I had to wrap it all up again in order to put it away. So just for me and my purposes, I found it was a lot easier just to stack it like this. It's easier to put it away, it's easier to take out something and put it back, and just to see exactly what I have. So that's number 1, the first way that I like to store fabric. My second favorite way to store fabric is in baskets. See here, I have baskets. Baskets fit in cubbies. These are cubbies from IKEA, the 2x8, and they are laid down, and I have my cutting tables arranged on top. So you see, in here I have fabrics that are difficult to stack on the cubbies themselves. For example, my swim fabrics here, or here's the faux fur fabrics. And you see back there some bins, that's number 3, but we'll get to that. So here are some baskets that I made myself. And this one has felt in it. And up here I have quilt batting scraps that are too small to make another quilt, but I could always use them for pot holders or tote bags or mini quilts, so I just stuff them in a basket. I also arranged my scraps in baskets. And you see here, I have a tower of baskets here that have my scraps, again, arranged by color. It's so inspiring for me to be able to just reach in and find pink scraps or turquoise scraps or black scraps, and just have my scraps arranged in a way that makes me want to sew more. That's baskets. The third way that I like to store fabric is in bins. Now, you've all heard the story of the lady who sewed, who died with a storage unit full of bins stuffed with fabric. I know, I've gotten a lot of fabric that way at estate sales, but then I brought home the bin full of fabric and I went through it. It was old, it was a little bit smelly, I had to wash it, and it just wasn't that good anymore. So I recommend that you use bins with caution. Now, first of all, I like the little scrapbooking bins. This one doesn't have very much in it because I'm kind of in between quilts, but I like the scrapbooking bins because I can put quilt pieces in this bin and it stays clean and dust free, and just while I'm working on the project, I can keep quilt pieces organized by color in a little scrapbooking bin like this, and I can easily see what's inside. Now the big bins. We all have the big bins. They're great. I've got some, as you see, I've got some that are like stuffed in the middle of my cutting table. But the problem is, once you put a fabric in the big bin, it's really hard to get to. You're not inspired to pull it out, use it, feel it, touch it. So I totally recommend that you think about it. If you don't love a fabric enough to put it on your shelf and to look at it, maybe you should find somebody who will love it and will use it, instead of just putting it in your bins that will go under your cutting counter, and then it'll move to your closet, and then they'll be moved to your storage unit, and then when you die, it will be sold for way less than you paid for it. Those were my 3 tips for storing your fabric in cubbies, baskets, and bins. Please leave a comment below if you store your fabric in any of these ways, or you have any more tips or ideas for me. Or if you would like to make these baskets to fit your cubbies, visit my website. I'll leave a link below where there's a tutorial. Happy sewing!